when Jose Mourinho was bantering with the ball boys, Manuel Pellegrini rather crept up on him in the tunnel to shake his hands, and he gave Mourinho a look, and there isn't a lot of love lost between them. Yeah, I'll give that disarming smile about 2 months. Welcome back to the treadmill. It's nearly time to start talking about football managers for a little while and start talking about football players. It's their performances that do the hiring and firing after all. But before we do, a couple of managerial facts for you to ponder. I am a commentator. Jose Mourinho has been handed a 3.5-year contract. He has never stayed anywhere for that long, yet. Only 11 of the 92 Premier League and Football League managers have held their current positions for 3.5 years as of now. More than half of those 92 are still in the very first year of the job that they're trying to do. Maurizio Pochettino was the 4th longest serving manager of the 92 until Tuesday. Longest serving, incidentally, Gareth Ainsworth of Wycombe Wanderers, top of League One. There's a message there somewhere. It's about 6 miles from the new Tottenham Stadium to this not quite so new London Stadium, but Spurs seem to get travel sick the moment they climb on the team bus these days. 3 points from the last 12 Premier League away games they've played. It is a damning stat, but I'm not sure that Jose Mourinho could have chosen too many better places to try to make an impact and try to find a cure for Tottenham's homesickness. They have a good record here at Olympic Park. West Ham United do not, and they don't have a good record anywhere just lately. Neither side has won a Premier League game since September. September the 28th, Tottenham's last win in this competition. They beat Southampton with 10 men. West Ham United are in 16th place, a point behind Tottenham at kick-off, and they haven't won at all since they beat Manchester United here on September the 22nd. Tottenham in traditional white shirts and navy shorts. West Ham in claret and blue, playing left to right as we look at it from our commentary position here. The first of 3 live commentaries on game day today here on TalkSport. And West Ham United in possession with Felipe Anderson on the left-hand side. Rather wayward ball cut out by Dyer, who started in midfield for Tottenham Hotspur. Davis has got the nod over Rose at left back. Plays it back to Alderweireld, paired with Sanchez midway inside his own half of the field. Alongside me today, Clive Allen and Trevor Sinclair. Clive, what do you make of Tottenham's tactical setup?
Well, as we expected, 4 across the back. Aurier will get forwards from that right back position. When he does, so certainly Davis will tuck in to make a 3. Dyer is in there to be that front screen between the 2 centre-halves. So some security, as you rightly said, Clive, that really appalling away record and number of lack of clean sheets certainly is dictating the way that Tottenham are setting up.
1 clean sheet in the Premier League so far this season for Tottenham Hotspur. The ball is with the West Ham United goalkeeper, Roberto, who has had errors and saves in his last couple of games, but the missed punch for the Burnley 3rd goal a fortnight ago was a hapless error, and West Ham fans can't wait for the moment that Lucas Fabianski is recovered and back between the posts. Son is in possession and on the attack for Spurs, starting from the left-hand side and taking on Fredericks, edge of the penalty area. West Ham right back does well to make a blocking challenge. Yarmolenko tries something a little bit too intricate midway inside his own half of the field and loses the ball, and Son comes back to Davis. Alderweireld on the halfway line. Trevor Sinclair also alongside me. West Ham United's tactical setup as we expected.
Pretty much, I'm quite surprised how high Robert Snodgrass is, and there doesn't seem to be some kind of common ground of when they're pressing, because Robert Snodgrass was pressing on his own whilst everyone else was sitting back, so they need to sort that out nice and early to save his legs.
Aurier coming forward for Tottenham, but dispossessed by Anderson, and the ball held up on the halfway line by Haller, but even though he was 1 step inside the Tottenham half of the field, He was caught offside. The officials today on the field, Michael Oliver, whose last Premier League assignment was Liverpool versus Manchester City a couple of weeks ago. His VAR in his ear is Andre Mariner.
Gets all the big games.
It's a grey autumnal afternoon in East London. Dele Alli coming forward, edge of the penalty area. Harry Kane's in, and Harry Kane has scored. No, flags up. Ball is in the back of the West Ham net inside 3 minutes. But the assistance flag was quickly raised. It will be checked. Was Harry Kane beyond the last defender when Dele Alli played him in? Yes. Correct decision on the field. Goal does not stand.
Yeah, good line there from Diop and Ogbonna. They've seen the situation developing. They were very, very controlled in what they did there and let Harry Kane make that run in behind from right to left. Good finish from Harry Kane, but good call.
I think a great position that Dele Alli took up in the pocket there, that Spurs were able to find him and then feed Harry Kane. Just that little step too soon from Harry straight into the offside position.
Yeah, no change of strategy from Jose Mourinho. It is a 4-2-3-1 setup for Tottenham Hotspur with Winks and Dyer the holding players, Lucas from the right, Son from the left, and Dele Alli playing very much as a number 10, albeit with a number 20 on his back, off the Tottenham number 10, Harry Kane, if you understand what I'm saying. Throw in to Tottenham Hotspur, about 20 paces inside the West Ham half. Serge Aurier has got the nod over, well, various people. Tottenham have used 5 right backs this season. He's got the nod, I suppose, over Juan Foyt at right back. Another throw-in one by Lucas Moura. A big chance for him. He has admitted publicly that his relationship with Maurizio Pochettino had become worn out, in his words. And immediately Jose Mourinho has said to Lucas Moura, "You're my man, you're in the team." Christian Eriksen's on the bench, Moussa Sissoko's on the bench, Giovanni Lo Celso on the bench, Lucas Moura in the team.
That tends to happen, Clive, when you score a hat-trick in the semi-final of the Champions League and then get dropped for the final. I think that would strain any relationship.
Trevor Sinclair clearly speaking from experience. His Champions League semi-final hat-trick obviously didn't win him a place in the final either. I can't quite recall the instance, but
Clive, it happened to me many times, and when that manager said that your services were no longer required, you moved on.
Voice of Clive Allen. Too many Clives on the college today. What was your nickname as a player? Allo? Can we call him Allo today? No, maybe not. Dele Alli looking for Son, cut out by Fredericks. Tottenham still coming forward. Ali just outside the penalty area. Kane's in and he's offside again. He squared it this time. Got into almost the identical position from which he hit the roof of the net a few minutes ago, but once again the flag was up on the far side.
Same move, Clive, and again Dele Alli just prominent in that pocket, again feeding the ball, fed from Davis into Dele Alli with time and space, turns and slides the ball into the 18-yard box. Once again Harry Kane just 2 strides too soon,
but you're looking at that Dele Alli position, and I can't remember him being so high up the pitch so early. So obviously Mourinho said to him he wants him to be Dele Alli and start getting in them final thirds, and that's exactly what he's doing, and it's causing problems for West Ham.
Early signs that he's taken the place of Dele Alli's brother in the team today. West Ham United coming forward on the right hand side with Fredericks out to Yarmolenko on the touchline. Ali did start, this is the Dele Alli, started 6 consecutive games for Spurs before the international break, and he has had an international break because he's out of favour with Gareth Southgate at the moment, and he has just looked a little fitter to me in recent weeks. I think he's moving more confidently after all the hamstring problems over the last 12 months.
Well, I think he's taking his football more seriously. He stepped away from all his commercial activities and he realised that his form had gone off, and he's doing something about it. And I think you should give him credit for that, because a lot of players can be in that situation for so long before they realise, and it might be a half a season or a full season that's gone by. He's dealt with it nice and early, and hopefully we'll see a good improvement in his form, but not today.
You're listening to West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 on TalkSport with Nissan Commercial Vehicles built to deliver. We've had 7 minutes of the first half of the first of our 3 live commentary games on game day today, and it's West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Clive, not as frenetic, fast and furious as I thought it might have started. Certainly 2 teams are really intent in keeping their shape and just trying to nullify each other.
Aurier has taken the chance in the right back position and lost possession, and Declan Rice has seized upon it midway inside the Tottenham half. Square to Mark Noble, now out to the right hand side, and Ryan Fredericks. Noble again 20 metres inside Tottenham territory. Links again with Rice, who plays Fredericks into a good crossing position on the right-hand side. And it's a searching ball, and the header at the far post from Ala is a good one. It was a fairly comfortable save for Paulo Gazzaniga, but it certainly gave West Ham United a sight of goal. Well worked from Fredericks' cross.
It was a good cross, and I think that Haller actually headed it into the back of Sanchez. That took the pace off the header, and it just popped up into Gazzaniga's hands.
Ali in a threatening position again for Tottenham Hotspur, midway inside the West Ham United half of the field. Comes back to Ben Davies, right to the left-hand side, and Son Heung-min.
Great little bit of play by Mark Noble there, just dictating that pattern of play. Fredericks got out wide on the right-hand side, free, put a great cross into the second 6-yard area, and that's exactly where you want your striker, attacking the ball. He couldn't get enough power on it, but a promising move from West Ham.
West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. Aurier has been played in by a clever Lucas Ball and pulled it back into the penalty area, where Noble deals with it very calmly and very accurately, because he played it out of harm's way and straight to the feet of Felipe Anderson. Still really to spark this season for West Ham. Anderson held up by Kane, making a challenge in midfield, but West Ham have found a really good pass out to Snodgrass, but he has been flagged on the left-hand side, and Tottenham Hotspur will have a free kick about 25 metres from the corner flag on the right.
Just a chance to reorganise as well for Spurs, because they just got caught out. It was Son who actually left Fredericks. He just crept in behind him down that right touchline, and as Trevor said, excellent ball from Noble in behind Son, putting Fredericks in for the cross.
Fredericks with a header this time from the edge of his own penalty area, helped on its way down the field by Ogbonna, only as far as Davis. Winks edge of the centre circle, comes back out to Ben Davis on the halfway line, now stepping into West Ham territory and finding Son, quickly ferried on to Ali, but his first touch is a bit heavy. Noble's lost it, looks for a free kick, doesn't get it. Son goes square to Lucas, who's bumped off the ball with a very strong challenge coming in from Robert Snodgrass, and Rice plays it now to Yarmolenko, stepping into Tottenham's half of the field and being caught in an Ali Davis sandwich and winning a free kick.
It's just developing into a London derby. A few late challenges, a little bit more intensity, and both teams have started this game quite well, creating decent chances, but you can just see that physical duel in the middle of the park starting to heighten.
We've seen Manuel Pellegrini come to the edge of his technical area to have a very specific word with Declan Rice, and he was holding up two fingers as if he's making a tactical change in the middle of the field. Tottenham are coming forward again with Ali, but Diop is there and is able to play the ball back to Roberto, whose main problems as West Ham goalkeeper in the last few weeks have been dealing with crosses. Clearances by Alderweireld downfield, one that Harry Kane will give chase to, even though Diop is the favourite, and Kane gives him a yank with his arm and pulls him to the ground, and the free kick has been given in Tottenham's favour. And not just that, a yellow card has been shown to Issa Diop, which will add up to a suspension for him, and I'm as mystified as most of the West Ham fans.
Well, his left arm goes out, does Diop. Harry Kane then grabs hold of it. He's sort of tugging at it. It looks, probably from Michael Oliver's view, that he's pushing him with his left arm. I think Harry Kane has actually took hold of Diop's left arm. He's twisted him around. He's got that wrong, the referee, and Diop now, with his booking, is on a tightrope.
Yeah, he's not endeared himself to the home fans there, Michael Oliver. He's got that one wrong. It was a foul against Diop by Harry Kane. Diop's ended up giving a dangerous looking free kick, and as we said earlier, one of the biggest problems for Roberto is dealing with crosses. They've got something to deal with here.
Diop will not be playing at Chelsea next Saturday. He's suspended. Winks with the free kick into the penalty area. Oh, and the goalkeeper's lost it. It was bumped out of his hands by Sanchez as he came in. It is a goal kick. There is a flag up on the far side. It wouldn't have counted, but it was not a particularly convincing piece of goalkeeping by Roberto Jimenez.
Absolutely not. He didn't dominate that area there. It should have been an easy punch if he's not going to catch that. Come out with a lot more intensity and commitment, and again, it just doesn't fill you with confidence. Very fortuitous that didn't end up in the back of the net, even though it was offside anyway.
This is the 7th time in a row that he's deputised for Fabianski since his injury, and West Ham United have not won any of the previous 6 games. Son Heung-min on the ball for Tottenham, moving over the halfway line, holding the width on this side. And Tottenham playing quite a rigid formation, not a lot of interchanging of positions so far. There's obviously a clear tactical plan. I wonder who's mapped that out. Here's Davis just inside his own half of the field. Plays it to Alderweireld. We have talked a lot about Mourinho in the build-up, and West Ham have come into this match without the fuss and fanfare that's heralded Jose Mourinho's return to the Premier League stage. And that may just suit them fine. I mean, if you were taking bets at the start of the week on which club might sack their manager first, it would have been the flip of a coin. Manuel Pellegrini is feeling the heat from the same pressure cooker that stewed Maurizio Pochettino. Neither team is in the half of the table that they hoped and expected to be at this stage of the season, but West Ham will happily swap the spotlight for some points today. Here's Yarmolenko running at Ben Davies, midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. Fed infield to Allaire. Yarmolenko lost control momentarily, but managed to regain it. And Anderson is in a promising position just outside the box. Swept out to the right-hand side. Asked a lot of Fredericks, who couldn't quite keep it in. And Tottenham Hotspur have a goal kick as a result.
Yeah, West Ham looked dangerous down this right-hand side. I feel he did actually force that a little bit, or the quality of the pass out wide wasn't good enough. But they do look like they could get in down this right-hand side. Again, good bit of pressure from West Ham. I think it started on the far side with Anderson, who for me has been disappointing this season, and it is very difficult when you've had a really successful season, which Anderson did, to back that up with the second year of having good performances, and I feel he really does need to up his game. 16 games without a goal for Felipe Anderson is not helping his confidence. Mark Noble has the ball for West Ham, midway inside his own half. He was a bit of a doubt for this game, having gone off in the first half at Burnley 2 weeks ago with an ankle problem, but typical of Noble, he's playing through the pain barrier. What a finish.
And is fit. He's actually managed to find the back of the Tottenham net from the halfway line 3 or 4 seconds after he was penalised for a foul on Harry Winks.
I'm surprised Michael Oliver's not booked him for that.
He couldn't resist, could he? He just felt, I wonder if I could score from here, just theoretically, just a hypothetical moment here.
I'll tell you what, that will put a question mark in Gazzaniga's mentality of his starting position. Even though it was after the whistle had gone, I think he will be looking at that now, thinking I can't be too far out of my 18-yard box.
And Noble actually lifted the ball over the Tottenham goalkeeper and into the bottom corner of the net from about 2 paces inside the Tottenham half of the field. But the whistle had gone and it remains West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Live from the London Stadium here on TalkSport.
Just feel they've up their intensity, West Ham, Trevor, in the way that they've gone about closing Spurs down there. Allowed them a little bit of luxury, just staying back, compact, but all of a sudden, since they've closed quicker, they've just hurried Spurs into turning over possession a few times.
Yeah, and having a good period of the game. I think one of the key things for me is getting that Robert Snodgrass making runs in behind. It's upsetting the back line for Spurs, and I think it's just adding a little bit of confusion. Do you track him? Do you play offside? Who's got Haller? And I think if Robert Snodgrass can keep on making them runs, it's going to be a difficult afternoon for Spurs at the back.
There has been a goal in the Championship. Charlton Athletic have taken the lead against Cardiff City. Neil Harris's first game in charge of Cardiff not going according to plan. Charlton Athletic 1, Cardiff City 0. Conor Gallagher has got that goal, and that match is live on TalkSport 2 at this moment in time. Noble back to Fredericks, midway inside his own half and all the way back to Roberto. It's West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0 on TalkSport with Now TV. You can watch Manchester City versus Chelsea live today with the Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass for a one-off payment of $9.99. Rice out to the right-hand side, and Fredericks just inside the Tottenham half. It's all a little bit guarded and careful at the moment. Plenty of respect out on the field. Both teams just eyeing each other up. Neither side has had a clear sight of goal in these opening exchanges. Ogbonna forward, seeking out the run on the far side of Snodgrass, but it bounces through to Gazzaniga in the Tottenham goal. Here's Harry Winks trying to get Spurs moving, paired with Dyer at the heart of the midfield today. Sanchez square to Alderweireld, midway inside his own half. Now Dyer taking over. Hasn't had a long run in the team through various illnesses over the course of the last year, but he did play much of his football last season in midfield. He's given the ball away here to Declan Rice, maybe a rival for a spot in the England side. Rice versus Winks is an interesting matchup today. Rice finds Yarmolenko, toss into the penalty area. Snodgrass waits. Aurier jumped with him and jumped rather clumsily and buffeted Snodgrass as he did. It meant Robert Snodgrass couldn't get off the ground. There were half-hearted penalty appeals which were waved away.
Excellent play this from Declan Rice. He showed the Spurs player a passing line, thinking that he could play it through, intercepted the pass, and then his mobility is superb. I actually feel that was a penalty. Aurier, he's not got the ball, he's come right through the back of Robert Snodgrass, and the referee's missed one there.
I think that's an example of the poor defending from Aurier, because he's coming from behind. He ends up coming round the side of the challenge, nowhere near the ball. He's not going to head it, and he crashes into Snodgrass needlessly.
4 penalties conceded in his Tottenham career by Serge Aurier. Decisive goal at Liverpool last month. It's West Ham coming forward with Creswell over the halfway line, and playing with a little bit of gusto when they do attack. Anderson trying to get Creswell into the penalty area. Aurier recovered quickly and managed to clear his lines up to the right hand side, where Son has now switched flanks and has won a free kick for Bonner's foul midway inside the Tottenham Hotspur half of the field.
Clive, there was plenty of appeals for that penalty decision. Aurier going through the back of Snodgrass. Why wasn't VAR brought into that?
Well, VAR will have checked it. There's no question about that. But
is a penalty then?
Underlying it all is the question that the VAR will be asking himself, as it is today. Was it a clear and obvious error by my colleague on the field? Answer, no. The refereeing powers that be have held a series of meetings during the international week to review the workings of VAR, and I understand that they believe they're achieving 91% accuracy on the key incidents, and that's nearly 10% up on the pre-VAR days. Sanchez forward, up to Kane inside the centre circle. Lovely pass play with his left foot out to Lucas Moura, who's now playing from the left for Tottenham Hotspur. Infield to Dyer. There's a bit more purpose about this Tottenham attack as Winks takes over and tries to thread it through to Son. Instead it comes for Lucas Moura. Now Dyer out to the left-hand side where Ali has pulled. Just 10 metres outside the penalty area. It's opened up for Son to have a shot, and it's a decent one. Punched away unconvincingly by Roberto out to the right-hand side. He did get some width and some length on the punch, in fairness. Aurier has played it in to Son, edge of the penalty area. His shot's deflected, comes from Lucas, who tried to improvise a header back across the face of goal and never really looked comfortable under the spinning ball. Chance for that for Tottenham, Clive Allen.
It was a chance. They worked the ball into Son, corner of the box, gets that right foot whip shot towards the corner. It was pretty central that Roberto really parried away in the end. Slight deflection on its way, but you would expect the goalkeeper to deal with that. And then a subsequent shot from Son spinning up in the air. Really difficult, wickedly spinning ball that Lucas Moura tried to head on target, headed across the 6-yard box.
Do you not think he had chance there to possibly bring that down because he was in acres of space?
Quite possibly. Given the right information, you'd think he might just step back and taken it down.
I think he was too busy staring up into the sky at the spinning ball and thinking, how the heck am I going to control this? Here's Aurier midway inside his own half of the field, just tossed forward under some pressure from Anderson, and the ball bounces loose and West Ham have it back to Sebastian Haller midway inside Tottenham territory. Away though by Davis. Ali square to Kane, who's come deep. Now Winks midway inside West Ham's half of the field. Lucas now has stayed on the left-hand side, swept in towards Ali, and it was a teasing ball which Angelo Ogbonna, back in the team today, did very, very well to deal with.
Yeah, super defending. He knew where Dele Alli was, made sure his shoulder was open, made sure he could get to the ball and dealt with it well. Fantastic defending there by Ogbonna.
West Ham coming forward with Creswell over the halfway line to Anderson. Still West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. Anderson now running at Aurier, edge of the penalty area, finds a cross which Aurier blocks at the expense of a throw into West Ham United down by the corner flag in an attacking position on their left.
Just think, when West Ham pick the tempo up, when they regain possession and they drive with the ball or play forward quickly, it just upsets Tottenham. They're not allowed to get into their structure that certainly the manager wants them to.
I think that's a weakness in that formation with a 4-2-3-1, especially if your fullbacks are high. If you can, when you turn the ball over in transition, if you can go quite direct and quickly at this Tottenham side, I think you can get at them and get chances.
Voices of Clive Allen and Trevor Sinclair at the London Stadium, where we approach the midpoint in Jose Mourinho's return to Premier League football without a goal. The speed with which Tottenham moved denied us the time-honoured football tradition of a period of caretaker management, a few days of uncertainty and speculation in which David Pleat holds the fort with Doug Livermore. But no, Daniel Levy had to support it all by acting decisively and Almost as if he'd already thought this through a little time ago. Noble in possession, just inside his own half of the field. Slowing the game to walking pace, playing it square to Diop. I'm sure Clive Allen and Alex Inglethorpe were ready to step in if asked. You've been caretaker manager twice, is it?
I have, yes. I've been given that opportunity on 2 occasions, but Ramos quickly arrived, and then Harry Redknapp.
And Jose Mourinho very quickly in this instance. Here's Winks to Lucas, just inside the West Ham half of the field, where Diop, who's on a yellow card, tries to hold him up. Lucas won it back. Ali to Dyer, just tossed forward rather hopefully towards Harry Kane. Ryan Fredericks was hoping to just shepherd the ball out of play. Kane wouldn't let him do that, but he has fouled Fredericks, and so West Ham do get a pretty cheap free kick down by their own corner flag on the right-hand side.
Again, excellent play by Declan Rice, being that screen, just stopping that ball into Harry Kane's feet on the earlier pattern of play and phase of play. He does that so well for such a young player, Clive.
He does. I think that's something that will improve as well with experience. As you say, I think he's athletic. He can certainly cover the ground, but he has to be aware of reading the situation of what's happening behind him, and really is potentially a top player.
You mentioned earlier he's potentially a Jose Mourinho player. That could never happen.
Well, no, you can never say never in this game.
West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. Allaire trying to turn, but caught by a very sharp challenge from Aurier. Snodgrass picks up the ball for West Ham on the left-hand side, midway inside Tottenham territory. Fed a rather timid ball forward towards Anderson, which Sanchez was able to deal with. Tottenham trying to play their way out of trouble before Gazzaniga sticks the size 10 behind it and fires it into the West Ham half. Kane did well to head it on, but it's cleared by Diop. It falls for Aurier, halfway line. Now Dyer inside the centre circle. Goes back to Alderweireld. Tottenham very measured, quite studious in their approach. Certainly not trying to inject any great tempo or intensity in the game, taking their time. Winks now scurrying forward with his busy stride and finding Ali. Sanchez just motors into West Ham territory before checking and coming back to Dyer on the edge of the centre circle. Square to Winks, now at the heart of the West Ham half, out to the left-hand side, and Davies, but it's one pass at a time. Not a great deal of movement off the ball. Son comes back to Sanchez. Son again. Tottenham happy to have the ball and just try to probe and with some kind of purpose feel their way through West Ham rather than trying to rush them.
Yeah, just trying to dictate the tempo of the game with possession. But you're right, there's not enough movement in front of the ball. That's something that has to happen if they're going to make progress up the field.
Terrific ball from Noble, though, has released Anderson, and he's got the march here on Sanchez. He's played it square. Allaire couldn't quite control it. Tottenham were undone there, and Anderson had both Allaire and Yarmolenko with him, and I wonder whether mid-last season, when his form was high, whether Felipe Anderson would have even thought about a pass there.
Yeah, Aurier caught out of position again, getting involved where it looked like they were trying to force it forward. Again, not enough movement in beyond the lines for Spurs going forward, and I think that's why it was so easy for West Ham to contain them. When they won the ball back straight away, penetrative run by Anderson, great first touch, just can't get it into the path of Sebastian Haller on the edge of the box, just behind him. But that was a great opportunity for West Ham.
Tottenham were caught 3 against 3 there.
I think Aurier again, you got to think about that structure, and I think the way they've played has been quite conservative in general, this Spurs side, and I think that comes from the manager. But Aurier again, is he listening to instructions? Because the way that he went forward there, it was very unlikely that he was going to get involved in the play.
I don't altogether buy into the notion that all Mourinho teams are dour and defensive. The 2015 Chelsea team was exciting, excellent. He buttoned down the hatch when they moved inside of the title, and he'll do that in games when they need closing out. But certainly you would feel that the hand he's been dealt here with Tottenham has got more attacking aces than it has defensive aces.
Yeah, there's no doubt for me that on the front line, certainly with Ali, Son, Kane, Eriksen, if he's introduced Moura, they have a lot of offensive potential where they can create chances, can cause problems and score goals.
West Ham 0, Tottenham 0, live on Talk Sport. Not really a glimpse of goal as yet for either team. 28 minutes play. Haller's layoff is heavy, meant for Noble, but it finds only Kane. Clip forward rather hopefully towards Lucas Moura, but it's overhit and easy for Roberto to gather. He bolted out quickly to Creswell. West Ham, if anything, are trying to play with a little bit more pace and a little bit more intent when they get the opportunity. Again,
decent runs behind from Snodgrass, breaking that defensive line, causing confusion in the back line for Spurs. I think the performance from Mark Noble has been outstanding. The way he uses the ball, his experience.
And back on cue, a lovely little turn, feeds Fredericks into Yarmolenko, just inside the box. On the right-hand side, comes back to Fredericks. Noble's made a run into the box this time. Fredericks caught in two minds, and his cross is eventually charged down by Ben Davies, and West Ham United have a throw in about 5 paces from the corner flag on the right-hand side in an attacking position. 4 claret and blue shirts inside the Tottenham box as Fredericks weighs up the options. Noble offering him a short throw-in. It's got Yarmolenko on the dead ball line. He's taking his time here, Ryan Fredericks, and the throw-in eventually is into Haller. He tries to lay it off to Noble. Hasn't been quite on his game as yet, Sébastien Haller. Noble is, though, and they're trying to find Fredericks down by the corner flag, run off it. He's been held up by Dyer, has he? Is it a free kick or a throw-in? It's down by the corner flag. It is a throw-in. Fredericks will take it.
You're talking about Sébastien Haller's not quite found his stride yet. He keeps on trying first touch layoffs and it's not happening. Now his confidence is going. You've got to get back to basics. Take a touch, lay it off, protect the ball and find somebody in a red shirt. At the moment he's not doing that. He's playing first time football and he keeps on giving possession away.
And as a result of his latest lapse in control, Tottenham were able to clear. It's currently West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. For the latest odds, you can visit the Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Right now you can get West Ham at 5.3, Tottenham Hotspur at 1.72 and the draw at 4.2. It's on the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, and do be aware of begambleaware.org. Winks in possession for Tottenham, pretty much on the centre spot. Short to Dyer. Those two never too far apart, right at the heart of this Tottenham team. This first Jose Mourinho selection, which, may I remind you, has on the bench Moussa Sissoko, Christian Eriksen, Giovanni Lo Celso. Tanguy Ndombele is not involved at all and has been nursing an injury over the last couple of weeks. Winks out to Aurier, right-hand touchline. Chance to move in field and try to set something up. Gets past Anderson but feeds it back to Dyer. Again, Tottenham just a little bit cautious. It's Son now on the left-hand side, picking his moment to run at Fredericks and find a low cross, which is cut out by Diop at the expense of a Tottenham corner on the left-hand side.
Just feel that a couple of times they're a little bit too conservative. They need to play into Harry Kane's feet. Take that little bit more of a chance to play the ball forward, run and join. They're quite prepared to go sideways and backwards and out wide to keep possession of the ball, making slow progress.
And here is an opportunity now, because they want a corner kick on the left-hand side, which Harry Winks will take. Davinson Sanchez and Toby Alderweireld, today's two chosen centre-backs, are forward. Eric Dyer is standing right next to Roberto, who has had some problems with crosses since taking over in the West Ham goal. Winks tries to hang it under the crossbar. It was a little bit short. It was in towards Alderweireld, but it did come last off a West Ham covering body. And everybody back to their stations, because Tottenham Hotspur have another corner on the left.
Philippe Anderson's position is so important on this corner. He's the near post spaceman, and for me he looks a little bit too close to the goal. I feel he needs to come out maybe 1 or 2 yards just to stop that run from Alderweireld getting a crossing, which it did then.
Winks takes the latest one. It's charged down again, this time by Yarmolenko. 10 paces from the corner, and a third corner in a row. Winks once more, again from the left-hand side. Dyer still standing pretty much on top of Roberto, the goalkeeper, and it's towards him and towards Dyer. It's come out as far as Alderweireld. It's blocked by Bonner, almost for Alderweireld again, but Noble did well, and West Ham United just about managed to clear their lines. He was under an awful lot of pressure there, Roberto. He's under a lot of scrutiny too, but he didn't look happy.
I thought he did well. I thought he dealt with it well. It was right under the crossbar. He had players launching in at him, and I think he just needed to get a punch on it and hope that his teammates could defend the second phase. He did that really well, and I think that'll give him a bit of a confidence boost.
Noble trying to come forward for West Ham over the halfway line. Bit of a misunderstanding with Yarmolenko, and Tottenham have it back. And Winks has the ball crossing the halfway line inside the centre circle. Forward to Lucas, and again Lucas and Son have swapped flanks. Son's back on the left. Lovely flick though from Kane. Ali the edge of the penalty area, trying to play it through. Almost came for Son, but really good covering by Declan Rice. That's as good as a goal, really. Fantastic challenge, because otherwise Son Heung-min was in.
But much clever build-up from Spurs. Great touch from Kane. Little flick pass from Dele Alli for the on-running Son. Declan Rice covering that space behind the centre halves brilliantly.
Yet another Tottenham corner on the left-hand side. They've changed the taker this time. Dele Alli has gone across to take it. They haven't changed the approach though, because Dyer again is standing right slap bang in front of Roberto, the goalkeeper, on his goal line. Ali takes it short. Back to Ben Davies. Crossed into the penalty area and flicked on by Dyer, but he doesn't get enough of it. The applause in the background, lovely touch, because the West Ham United fans are paying tribute to one of their supporters, Lily Harris, who died early this month, aged 33, after a long battle with cystic fibrosis. Her beautiful face is now being displayed on the big screens, and all of the fans inside London Stadium, claret and blue, white and blue, are applauding the memory of Lily Harris.
Nice tribute.
As the play restarts again after that moment of respect. Big roar goes up as West Ham United come forward, and Aaron Creswell carries the fight down the left-hand side, being marshalled all the way by Serge Aurier, and there's a little tussle on the far side which West Ham win. And here's Creswell bursting into the penalty area and then overhit it, way by Sanchez, not convincingly, but well won by Dele Alli, who wanted that a little bit more than Felipe Anderson. 10 metres inside his own half, going long towards Son Heung-min, and Diop allow the ball to bounce, and Roberto comes out and gathers the ball.
Just feel, Trevor, there's been one or two challenges where one or two players have not been totally committed, and certainly that was an example for me. Anderson there with Dele Alli. The crowd made him aware that they were unhappy with his effort.
Yeah, I think they would probably prefer him to have fouled Dele Alli there. He ended up getting nutmegs because of that lack of commitment initially in the challenge.
Dele Alli has just won the ball well here from Diop, and played square to Son, and back into the penalty area for Harry Kane, but it's stolen away from him again by Declan Rice. Two very, very important interventions by the young England midfield player, covering his defence, reading the game very well, and alert enough to go with the runner, in this case Harry Kane. Played in though by Ali to Son. More danger. Son strikes it, and Tottenham lead. Smashed a left-footed shot right through the goalkeeper Roberto. Hit with power, but I think the goalkeeper will have some questions to answer. The pressure has been building. West Ham have looked more and more vulnerable, and the breakthrough, the first goal of the Jose Mourinho Tottenham era, is scored by Heung-min Son.
Well, certainly it was an area in which Tottenham had got into a couple of times earlier. Declan Rice had tidied it up. He couldn't get back into that position on this occasion. They worked the ball from a central midfield area into Dele Alli once again. It's helped on to Son, who just goes one-on-one Diop, stands him still, steps over the ball, moves it onto his left side, drills it back across the keeper. It wasn't clearly in the far post, but it was past him before he could react. Spurs 1 up.
Yeah, I feel a lot of people will criticise the goalkeeper there, but for me, he's 6 yards out. You know, the power, the pace in which he hits that ball, it's low. Unless it's going to hit the goalkeeper, it's very difficult for him to keep that out. I will say that the Diop mistake that led to the possession for Tottenham was a key benefactor to that goal, and you've got to do better in possession.
A Son goal that had Jose Mourinho dancing on the touchline and punching the air with a clenched fist. 6 goals in his last 6 Tottenham games for Son. Ali, West Ham looking open. Ali just outside the box, shoots again, and this time drags it maybe a couple of metres wide of Roberto's right-hand post. But West Ham United are all at sea defensively at the moment.
And Clive, it's been evident from very early that Dele Alli in that pocket is going to cause West Ham United problems. He contributed with the pass to Son for the goal. And again, time and time again, too easily he's been found between the lines. West Ham's midfield and defenders are finding him difficult to pick up at the moment.
Yeah, and again it comes down to the old adage, if you don't make runs in behind without the ball, you're not going to penetrate. And I think the fact that the two early opportunities that Harry Kane had were runs in behind. The chance that Son just took was a run off the ball in behind. He slowed it down to make a one-on-one situation. Great skill, and then to get the goal. And again, even there for Dele Alli's chance, he shot from outside the box. It was the movement from Son in behind that took one defender away, which enabled Dele Alli to get his shot off. So again, they've got to be careful with that, West Ham. I think they need to manage this part of the game better, because at the moment it looks like Tottenham are running all over them.
And it looks like Dele Alli's brother's been given the day off. I'd be a bit miffed if I was Dele Alli's brother, really. I mean, what's he done to deserve his put down from Mourinho? Has Jose actually seen him play? Does he really exist? Son is down at the moment, having been caught by a big challenge from Fredericks, clutching his right shin. A yellow card has come out for the West Ham United right back. How bad was the challenge? Well, not good. Not good.
It could easily have been a red card, because Fredericks flying into the challenge, studs high, right across Son's right shin, full force off the ground. Very, very lucky is Ryan Fredericks just to pick up a yellow for that challenge.
Yeah, I agree. Out of control, really dangerous tackle. And this was something that I actually thought he'd managed to get out of his game, because when he was playing for Fulham, he was very rash with challenges like this. He seemed to have calmed it, but it's just shown its ugly head again, and that is a ridiculously dangerous tackle.
And a couple of minutes after giving Tottenham Hotspur the lead, Heung-min Son is still down and still clutching the point low down on his right leg, where Ryan Fredericks' studs made contact. We're just having another look at that challenge, and it wasn't a leaping challenge. I'm not sure that he ever... Well, he does have both feet off the floor at one stage, doesn't he?
It's the follow-through, Clive. The right boot that follows through. There's momentum in the challenge, but certainly he's out of control. He's saying that he plays the ball, but for me, it's the way that boot is kept high, and he certainly makes contact with Son Heung-min's right shin.
And I actually think there's a bit of malice in that as well. You know, he's just scored a goal. He's a key player for Tottenham, and I think there's a little bit of a sinister side to Fredericks there, and it's a very, very poor challenge.
Son is back on his feet. Tottenham Hotspur were Ryan Fredericks' first professional club. He actually had his debut in the same game as Harry Kane. Winks with a free kick into the box, which Roberto punches, and Ali turns scoreless, and somehow Roberto manages to get back to... Again, it was a less than convincing punch. Play's been stopped again because there's a defender down in the penalty area, but he came a long way to make that punch, almost as if to try to convince us. What did you make of it, guys?
Well, I think if you're Jose Mourinho, every opportunity put crosses into the box, because not convincing, no communication, he's not commanding, never mind the 18-yard box, he's not even commanding his own 6-yard box. So for me, put balls into the box, they won't be able to deal with it at the back, West Ham.
Clive Allen, he's actually punched his own defender, Angelo Ogbonna. That's the injury.
Yeah, that's what's happened. He's on a number of occasions just been a fraction late in terms of arriving. As we know, goalkeeper should be taking it at its highest point. He's not getting to that situation where he's there to take it high. He's ending up taking it at shoulder height or punching it at shoulder height, and he crashes into Ogbonna, who is actually higher than him. He's above him as he's coming out.
And listen, as a defender, if your defender's got his head on the ball, or literally got his head on the ball, you leave that situation and think, right, I'm going to deal with any second phase that I've got to deal with. If not, you have to communicate early, realise that your teammate's taken that communication on board, and then you can come out and clear the ball.
West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Tottenham have taken the lead in each of their last 3 Premier League games, and they have won none of them. They've led for at least 20 minutes in all those 3 matches. They've taken 2 points from those 3 matches. It's been a recurring theme all season. 2 up in Greece, 2 up at Arsenal, drew both. They even took the lead against Bayern last month before being taken apart. Son entered the penalty area, played in towards Lucas. It's 2-0. Flags up again, is it? It's given it. Goal's been given.
Clive, that was absolutely sensational by Dele Alli on the touchline, right under the nose of Jose Mourinho. He fell over, he scooped the ball forward to allow Son to carry on down the left touchline. West Ham literally stopped. They stopped because they thought it had gone out of play. Play continued, ball swept to the back post, and who was there? Lucas Moura to put Tottenham 2-0 up.
Absolutely incredible play. Amazing improvisation by Dele Alli on the sideline, kept the ball in play, managed to scoop a pass out like Clive said, and what a cross that is by Heung-min Son. Amazing area to put the ball in. It's just crying out for your forwards, go and get yourself in that area and get on the end of it, and that's exactly what Lucas Moura does. He goes into the near post, goes into the far, left foot finish, what a goal.
And let's give credit to Lucas Moura, because it wasn't as if he was free. He had to reach round Aaron Creswell in order to steer the ball goalwards with his left foot. But everybody in awe of Dele Alli, who controlled the ball on the touchline but fell backwards, fell off balance. But as he lay in a prostrate position looking at the ball down his legs, he somehow managed to flick his right heel and prevent all of the ball from crossing all of the line. Son was on his way. Lucas was predatory at the far post. Tottenham had been predatory in the last 10 minutes. Son and now Lucas have scored goals, and Tottenham lead by 2-0. And maybe this is the day that they keep their lead.
And is it the day where Jose Mourinho works his magic? Now, what magic might that be? 2-0 up, does he shut up shop? Does he make sure that they keep a clean sheet and they win the game? Or do they continue in this manner? Really interesting period now for Tottenham Hotspur under the new manager, Jose Mourinho.
Son on his way again, being pursued by Fredericks. Tottenham's last away win in the Premier League, January the 20th. In possession with the score of their second goal, Lucas. Forward towards Son again. Fredericks heads away. 3 draws, 9 defeats since that last win. The longest run without a Premier League away win since early 2001, since George Graham was in charge of Tottenham. And West Ham United got a response in the final minute of this first half. Creswell's coming forward. Feeds Snodgrass midway inside the Tottenham half. Buys himself a bit of space with a good dummy, and then goes for goal with a right-footed shot. But Gazzaniga is able just to see that one past his post. Pretty even first half, but the last 15 minutes have belonged solely to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, Heung-min Son's been key in that. And I think, going back to the question, does Jose Mourinho shut up shop? Why would he? Because if you think about the goal-scoring opportunities that West Ham have had, they've hardly had any. So keep on playing the same way. I think they've been quite sound at the back. Keep playing the same way, and if you can carve out a few more opportunities, why not? 2
added minutes at the end of a first half, which Tottenham Hotspur have now taken a grip over, with goals from Heung-min Son and from Lucas Moura, his second Premier League goal of the season, his first since that header at Manchester City in August. He scored 15 times last season. Well, the 2 of them quite important, you may recall. He's been given a vote of confidence here by the new manager today, with a place in the starting 11. Only his 3rd Premier League start since August, and he has rewarded Jose Mourinho with the goal, which gives Tottenham Hotspur some clear breathing space, approaching their first half-time team talk with the new manager. Tottenham in possession with Lucas just inside his own half, doing well to hold it up for Harry Winks. Looks to me as if Mourinho's already made his way to the dressing room in order to compose his words, as Aurier comes forward on the right-hand side. Rice cuts it out, but Tottenham are going to finish this half with a corner kick on the right side. In fact, he's just making his way now. He's in a white shirt and a dark buttoned-up knitwear and a light raincoat, and he has now made his way down the tunnel to give his first half-time team talk, which has been made an awful lot easier by the goals from Son and Lucas in the last 10 minutes. Another Tottenham corner on the right-hand side, a rather hushed London Stadium, as Winks delivers, and it's charged down by Snodgrass, played into the penalty area by Lucas. Sanchez is underneath it, and it's tipped over the crossbar by Roberto, and Tottenham, if there's time, will have another corner kick on the right-hand side.
It just seems there's an unease in that West Ham defence and it has to be, and unfortunately the goalkeeper is contributing to that, because they're not sure if he's coming. If he is, it's been late, and he's not commanding that area. He's not instilling confidence in his teammates defensively.
Absolutely, Clive.
Ali with the corner into us. Eric Dyer with the head of the mark. He wasn't great, but Dyer squirted his header over the crossbar. The boos are from frustrated West Ham United fans. Every Tottenham Hotspur fan will be heartened by everything that they've seen and heard in the last 15 minutes. They were careful and considered for the first half hour, but once they started to realise their threat, realise their attacking menace, the chances began to come, and two of them were snapped up by Son Heung-min and by Lucas Moura, and they've given us a half-time scoreline here at the London Stadium of West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. And West Ham's Felipe Anderson, who was substituted before the hour mark at Burnley 2 weeks ago in their last game, who was substituted at half-time at Goodison Park last month, has been substituted at half-time again, and Mikel Antonio returns after 3 months out, nursing a hamstring injury. He has been training for the last couple of weeks. West Ham are on the attack in the opening stages, but it's a difficult situation for him to come back into. He started the season in the team. He's very, very popular with the West Ham fans. He brings energy, he brings talent, a little bit of an X factor. Antonio is on. He seems to have started the game almost right up alongside Sebastian Haller, and it's another thing that West Ham fans have been calling out for, some genuine support for their new striker. They trail 2-0 to Tottenham here at half-time. Antonio's unable to control a throw-in down the left-hand side, and the thoughts of Trevor Sinclair on the half-time switch.
Yeah, I feel West Ham needed to make a switch, especially in that final third, not creating enough chances. I think the frustration from both wingers was shown at the end, because both of them switched sides, from Anderson going from the left to the right and Yarmolenko right to left. So I feel it wasn't working, and obviously Pellegrini's seen that and realised that he needs to make a switch. Antonio has got pure pace, he's direct, and he can cause problems here for Tottenham if given the right kind of service. It looks like he may have been up top with Sebastian Haller, who desperately looks like he needs help. Me and Clive were talking off air how we watched him play last year with Jovetic for Frankfurt, and he looked so dangerous in that link-up play, and he was getting opportunities. He's almost a shadow of himself for West Ham this season, and I hope they can get him to bring out that talent that he's clearly got, but at the moment it's not quite happening for him.
The voice of Trevor Sinclair. Sebastian Haller scored 20 goals for Eintracht Frankfurt last season alongside Luka Jovic, who scored 27 before his move to Real Madrid. They had Ante Rebic in that team too, who moved on to Milan in the summer, so he was surrounded by attacking talents. It looks like he's going to have a little bit of company up there now, because Antonio's fighting for the ball with Sanchez midway inside the Tottenham half, and there's run a free kick for West Ham United just in from the left-hand side. Trevor Sinclair and Clive Allen alongside me on Talk Sport this afternoon at the London Stadium. Clive, answered the question that you posed just before half-time. What does Mourinho do? Shut up shop, win 2-0, or try to make a statement?
Well, I think he should continue in the same vein, but for me, and historically, Jose will be happy with the lead. He'll make sure, I'm sure that was a message at half-time, to keep that clean sheet, keep very, very tight, and we go away with all 3 points.
Robert Snodgrass with a free kick for West Ham United, which he miscued, and it's tidied up by Aurier, and a chance for Lucas Moura to lead a breakout, and Son Heung-min has made a great first touch to carry it forward, and Tottenham are threatening here on the counter, and Lucas Moura's back in again, and he screwed it wide. Now, he had both Son and Ali in support, and I'm not sure whether he was trying to play one of them in or go for goal. I suspect the latter, and he did neither.
I think you're right, Clive. I think that in the end he decides, after Son carries the ball down the centre of the field, slides it into his path, first touch out of his feet, and he's just trying to ease it into the far corner. He has a little look, he's going for precision, and in the end he scuffs it horribly wide.
It was a fantastic chance for Tottenham Hotspur to put the game pretty much beyond West Ham United in the opening exchanges of this second half. They do have a free kick 20 metres inside West Ham territory, which Kane takes quickly to Ali. And Tottenham Hotspur starting the second half much as they finished the first, looking bright, lively and dangerous, and Aurier has the ball in a crossing position on the right hand side, tossed in towards Harry Kane. 3-0. Fabulous cross from Serge Aurier, and then there was only ever one outcome, and Harry Kane continues to reboot the record pages. New international records last week, and now his 175th goal for Tottenham Hotspur carries him into third place on the club's all-time list and carries Tottenham into a 3-goal lead.
Absolutely useless defending. I think the ease at which Aurier's allowed to get his cross in, excellent cross I have to say, into that second 6-yard box. You can't expect the goalkeeper to come for that. So it's a one-on-one duel in the second 6-yard box between Harry Kane and Diop is so weak. Harry Kane absolutely dictates that situation, gets his head to the ball, no chance for the keeper. So weak, the defending there, absolutely unacceptable for a central defender to be defending like that in the Premier League.
But Trevor, the way they defended the free kick, as soon as Harry Kane, the goal scorer, picked the ball up, he put the free kick down, he rolled it into Dele Alli's feet. He then, with 5 West Ham players around him who didn't close him down, rolled the ball back to Harry Winks before it went wide. But Kane, as he does so well, he continued from taking that free kick. He was then on the end of Aurier's cross. He was just determined, more determined than Diop was to clear it. Harry Kane wanted to get his head on it to give.
There is a but. The goal stands, don't worry Tottenham fans. It is 3-0, but Harry Kane has been down for the last 30 seconds getting treatment for an ankle injury, and that is alarm bells for Tottenham and England fans. He's back on his feet, he's shaking his head, whether it's being asked, do you want to come off or do you want to continue?
Definitely not coming off.
He's
Clive.
not coming off.
You could see, you're right, he's shaking his head because he's saying to the physio, no way. He's saying, are you alright? Are you coming off? He said, no way. He's continuing.
Well, he's rubbing shoulders with the Tottenham Immortals now. Only the late Bobby Smith and the one and only Jimmy Greaves has scored more Tottenham goals. He's just overtaken Martin Chivers to go into third place on his own with 175. He's still 91 behind Greaves, but he's 26 years of age, and he's got a strike rate to compare with either of them. Tottenham coming forward and in control. Harry Winks, halfway line, out to the right hand side. Serge Aurier, square to Eric Dyer.
Immediately Jose Mourinho was out to the technical area to speak to the physio as he left the field of play. He knows the importance of Harry Kane is, do you take a risk? Do you need to take a risk with a 3-0 lead now if there's any doubt about the injury that Harry Kane has just picked up?
His 11th goal of the season for Tottenham is his 21st of the season for club and country, 21 in 22 games, and he's now scored 8 in his last 9 Premier League games against West Ham United, 3 of them here. The Harry Kane facts check continues. Halfway line, Sanchez winning a header for Tottenham, helped on by Winks. Here is Harry Kane, and must feel as if he can fill his boots here if Tottenham continue to dominate the game with the ease that they have done either side of half-time. Ali square to Lucas Moura, back to Serge Aurier, on to Lucas again. Dyer turning, breaking the challenge of Allaire, which was a little flimsy to say the least. He has, in fairness, won the ball back for West Ham United, Allaire, and it goes forward from Creswell up to Antonio, and he has won a free kick 15 metres inside the Tottenham half. He took it very quickly, and it's been easily picked off by Ben Davis, and Kane on the halfway line plays it forward towards Dele Alli, edge of the West Ham United penalty area. Ali back towards Kane. Diop fights his corner well, stands his ground and wins a free kick. But this could be anything now, couldn't it?
Well, that's the problem. I'm just listening to the crowd turning and the lack of intensity amongst this West Ham team, individually, collectively. And I hate to say it, but this is the kind of performance that does get managers a sack. This is supposed to be a London derby. I'm not seeing any kind of expression of desire to get back into this match from the West Ham players. They're so passive, out of possession. They're lacking individuality and creativity in possession. And this could be any number, like you say, Clive. This is absolutely woeful at the minute. They've come out for the second half and they've not turned up.
It's West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3 on TalkSport, with Nissan Commercial Vehicles built to deliver. Goals from Son and Lucas in the space of 7 minutes just before half-time, added to in the 4th minute of the second half by Harry Kane. A I try to be wary of stereotypes, and gentlemen managers whose first language is not English are open to stereotyping. But I think fans of all generations like to think their players might get an old-fashioned rollicking from time to time, might get a piece of their manager's mind, a loud piece, a proper salon hairdryer. Is this a manager who has that in his armoury, I wonder?
Well, sometimes you have to look at the response of the players. Yes, it's a difficult time for West Ham United and the results that they're running at the moment, but on the occasions when you see them concede the goals in the manner that they have today.
Antonio with a cross in towards Haller. Well dealt with that by Alderweireld. He defended it really well. Comes out as far as Yarmolenko. A bit of a misunderstanding with Frederiksen. It goes back to Diop on the halfway line. And there is going to be another change by Manuel Pellegrini, who's going to throw Pablo Fornals into the action as Creswell comes forward and plays a good ball into Antonio, but the flag is up. I mean, Trevor Sinclair, is it antiquated thinking, or is teacup throwing still a part of a 21st century manager's armoury?
Well, I don't think it's your first port of call, and you should be used sparingly, but at times when the players need a dressing down, I think it's probably unprofessional if you don't give it them, you know. And this kind of performance, I would say the first half wasn't too bad. I think they were better than us in the boxes, but this second half, the way they've come out, it thoroughly deserves a dressing down.
Fornals has replaced Andriy Yarmolenko now with a little over 10 minutes of the second half gone. And Manuel Pellegrini was in charge of Manchester City. There was a big flag that used to fly on match days which just simply said, "This charming man," and undoubtedly he is that. But maybe West Ham United could do with a barking man at the moment. It's Kane in possession for Tottenham Hotspur, who lead by 3-0. And Kane has gone down and he's holding his ankle again. Tottenham have the ball and have played it all the way back to Gazzaniga. Kane is trotting rather gingerly back. He seems to be okay. Lucas Moura has the ball on the halfway line, challenged by Creswell. Clive Allen growing ever more concerned about the fitness of the acting Tottenham captain.
Yeah, I think Harry's having a quiet word with referee Michael Oliver. It was actually just a kick. Bonner just kicked through and caught Harry Kane, but he is up, he is back in the fray. And I'm sure that Jose Mourinho will be looking at that with great interest as to whether he needs to really risk Harry Kane anymore.
Son has the ball for Spurs just outside the penalty area, but he was offside, and a free kick to West Ham United. Tottenham are home to Olympiacos on Tuesday night in the Champions League, and they play Bournemouth next Saturday in the Premier League. And there's a lot of speculation about which names would be on Jose Mourinho's team sheet and which wouldn't, and that was interesting today. But Harry Kane's name is always going to be on that team sheet if fit. Noble for West Ham United, halfway line, forward towards Fornals. Little flick inside is a good one, and it's helped onto that right hand side where Haller tries to cross, blocked though by Alderweireld. Haller trying to play Noble in down by the corner flag, but Woods has tracked his run, and West Ham United only have a throw in about 3 metres from the corner flag on the right hand side.
I've got a little bit of a concern at the moment. I'm looking at the shape, and it almost looks like West Ham have gone to a 4-2-4. They're kind of throwing everything at this to try and get back in the game, but the worry for me is how sharp Tottenham are on the counter-attack, and if this continues, this could be any scoreline, because I don't think West Ham have got the speed or the ability to keep these 3 or 4 Spurs players from scoring again.
Long clearance by Gazzaniga forward towards Lucas Moura, who's managed to claim the ball from Aaron Creswell 15 metres outside the penalty area. Comes back to Eric Dyer, who's just had a pretty functional game at the heart of the Tottenham midfield. Just kept the ball moving, kept in a good shielding position in front of his back four. He and Harry Winks are filling that role today. There's quite a lot of competition for it within the Tottenham squad, and certainly the players who've been given the nod by Jose Mourinho today will take some shifting if they see through this victory as convincingly as it looks likely to be at this moment in time. Free kick has been won by Pablo Fornals, about 20 metres inside the Tottenham half of the field, just in from the left-hand side. Aurier just a little rash. Fornals still really to make an impression since joining West Ham United in the summer. Fredericks has the ball just inside the Tottenham half. Diop comes square to Ogbonna. Now out to the left-hand side, and Creswell still inside West Ham territory, clips it forward rather hopefully towards Fornals. The ball's a bit straight and overhit, and Sanchez is able to shepherd it out for a goal kick.
Men against boys there in that race. Sanchez, 6'2" against Pablo Fornals. Looks like a boy. Was ushered off the ball so easily there, fell to the ground, and it's all been a little bit too comfortable in that 18-yard box for Tottenham Hotspur this afternoon.
Jose Mourinho's been making copious notes during the game so far in a leather-bound notebook, but that is now resting on his chair as if it has been closed for the day. He's just pacing his technical area with his hands in his pockets. Whilst he's not showing the beaming smile that we've seen quite a lot of in the last couple of days, he'll be very happy inside as Kane goes forward into the West Ham penalty area, hooked away by Fredericks.
Clive, life's good. Life's good.
Life's good for
He's
Tottenham.
prowling. He really is happy.
Forward by Creswell to Fornals, just inside his own half. Snodgrass carrying it forward, put a little late by Dye, but West Ham have retained possession and Noble has managed to help it on. And here's Antonio inside the Tottenham penalty area, goes for goal himself, and it was on target. And Gazzaniga had to make a save. It was a pretty audacious effort by Mikel Antonio, not unlike him, and he's capable of scoring from that kind of range with his left foot. Short back left, he squirted the shot forward, and Gazzaniga got everything behind it.
Yeah, a bit of better link-up play from West Ham. Fornals showing a really nice bit of touch in the middle of the park to create the space.
A mistake here by Diop, and Kane's in again. Harry Kane, good recovery that by Diop. Slid in, Kane's down again, beats the ground, only in frustration that he didn't make more of an opportunity, because he seemed to be one-on-one with Roberto before Diop caught up with him, but Tottenham are getting chance after chance. Snodgrass on the ball for West Ham, inside Tottenham territory, just in from the left-hand side. Creswell alongside him, comes back to Declan Rice. He's certainly kept his head up in this game so far, Rice, and been one of West Ham United's better players, but he's looking around now for options as he looks for a pass, and he actually threw both arms up there in frustration after rolling a square pass to the opposite to say there's just nothing on for me. Noble out to the right hand side, Fredericks poked forward towards Antonio, certainly brought a bit of life and gusto to West Ham going forward. Noble squeezed into Allaire just outside the penalty area. Now Creswell supporting, clipped into the penalty area. There's nobody there really waiting for it, nobody other than Alderweireld, who heads clear. Out to Antonio on the right hand side, comes back to Fredericks. He has a chance to cross, but instead plays it to Noble. Noble comes onto his unfavoured left foot, feeds it square to Rice just outside the penalty area into the edge of the box, and Snodgrass gets it back to Rice, and now Creswell. Good build up this, fighting by Snodgrass, but turned away by Sanchez, and Kane is first to it. Hungry play by Harry Kane, who wins a free kick as he goes into the tussle with Ogbonna.
Yeah, good probing by West Ham. Started down the right, got a little bit tight, so they recycled the ball, come across the midfield. Fornals has shown some really nice touches. Looks like he's a clever footballer. Whether he's got the intensity and the physicality really get into this game, I don't know, but he has shown some really clever touches. And again, good opportunity to get the ball in the box. I think they failed with that, and in the end it was stifled out by the Spurs defence.
Tottenham have a free kick midway inside their own half. Tottenham 5 Premier League games without a win. They haven't gone 6 Premier League games without a win since the early Harry Redknapp days, January 2009. Long ball forward towards Kane, flicked on beautifully, and Son has got in behind West Ham, just outside the penalty area. Son Heung-min settles for a corner. Fredericks got back to him, corner to Tottenham Hotspur on the left-hand side. Alderweireld and Sanchez on the way.
It just looks time and time again when that ball's played forward that the West Ham defence getting caught square. They're not sure whether to attack the ball, whether to drop off. And on that occasion, a simple flick on by Harry Kane, and the on-running Son wins the corner.
Short corner taken unopposed. Davis out to the left-hand side, and Harry Winks crossed into the penalty area, but cut out by Antonio, who just thumps it down the field, and there isn't a claret and blue shirt within 50 metres, 40 metres maybe of where it bounces. Gazzaniga takes no chances as it happens, just leathers the ball out of play for a throw-in, and West Ham United prepared to make their third change, and it's a surprise change really, because Carlos Sanchez, the Colombian international, hasn't played for the club since the EFL Cup exit 2 months ago. He has made just a dozen appearances since returning to England at the start of last season, and seems to have been frozen out somewhat, but he's on now at the centre of midfield, and it's Declan Rice who's been moved back into the heart of the defence as Diop goes off. And you may have heard an interview we had with Declan Rice before the game today, in which he certainly didn't rule out the possibility of moving back into the heart of the defence at some stage in his career.
I think it's a clever decision for Pellegrini there. You could see that Diop is struggling, especially aerial battles against Harry Kane. His confidence would have been low, and I feel it's a wise move to get Declan Rice in there and try and create something going forward, using Sanchez in that forward centre of the pitch.
So it's Rice and Ogbonna now at the heart of the West Ham defence. Ogbonna on the ball, who is recalled today after 3 games in the shadows in preference to Fabian Balbuena. He's run a free kick here. Kane just doesn't let up. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur lead by 3-0 here, and Harry Kane is playing with the same appetite as if they were 3-0 down.
That's a winner for you, winner's mentality. I'm not being funny. You look at the mismatch on the far post there on the right hand side for West Ham, and Antonio against Ben Davies. Why are they not hanging a few balls up there to try and get second balls? I don't understand it.
Tottenham in possession with Winks, centre spot, forward towards Ali, nicely laid off to Lucas Moura. He's got Kane outside him, instead swings across in towards Dele Alli. It's headed away by Declan Rice. Lucas manages the ball, bring the ball back under control and find Dyer. Aurier into Kane. Tottenham Hotspur having things totally their own way. They lead by 3-0 here live on the first of 3 commentaries on game day on TalkSport. Commentaries between now and 7:30 this evening. Adrian Jarran will follow us here on TalkSport at 2:30 with Around the Grounds, bringing you the live scores and reports from all across this afternoon's fixture list. Arsenal versus Southampton is live and exclusive on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock, and then full commentary from the around about 5:15. We'll be switching our attention on TalkSport to the Etihad and live and exclusive commentary of Manchester City against Chelsea with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce at the mic and Laura Woods in charge. Laura's always in charge.
Confidence running through this Spurs team now, just the way they're passing and moving, and the frustration, you sense it, Trevor, can't you?
Yeah.
The West Ham players, they're trying to get close, but they just can't.
Well, you've given yourself a mountain to climb. You give a team 3-0, everybody wants to tip the ball in the Tottenham side, and it really does just become so difficult for West Ham to try and get back in this game, because any player who's played the game will know when you're 3-0 up, it's so much easier to control the ball, to make the right passes, to make the right decisions on the ball, and when you're up against it, this is where you start seeing players hide.
Snodgrass for West Ham, playing into the edge of the Tottenham penalty area where Alderweireld heads comfortably clear, and Son initiates another break. Kane's on the ball, motoring into the West Ham half of the field, trying to sweep it back to Son, but it inadvertently hit Dele Alli and rolled into the hands of Roberto. It's West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3 on TalkSport with Now TV. You can watch Manchester City versus Chelsea live today with the Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass for a one-off payment of $9.99. Ogbonna for West Ham. Noble coming back between his 2 centre-backs to get on the ball, midway inside his own half of the field. Rice out to Fredericks on the right-hand side, helped on by Antonio. There have been 1 or 2 pretty dramatic comebacks in fixtures between these two in the last couple of years, but it feels like damage limitation now for West Ham United. Noble, their skipper, has the ball back out to the right hand side, and Fredericks unable to return the ball to his skipper, and Tottenham have it again and have another chance to start to break down the field. Ali passes up that opportunity, instead comes back to Sanchez midway inside his own half. Out to Aurier on the right hand side, back again to Sanchez, who's put under pressure by Allaire, and his forward ball is picked off by Cresswell. Now Noble on the edge of the centre circle. Rather eerie atmosphere now inside the London Stadium, just under 60,000 inside here, and most of them feeling a bit beaten and battered by what they're watching. Antonio with another exhilarating run forward, forces a free kick about 12 paces outside the penalty area, and is going to force Tottenham Hotspur's first yellow card of the day for Ben Davies's challenge.
It's a positive run for him, Antonio, and he draws Davies to make the challenge. He actually falls awkwardly. He tackles with his left leg, but Antonio falls, and that is a nasty one for Ben Davies. Luckily up, but hobbled away from the free kick that gives West Ham just a slight opportunity from this sort of distance.
And to add insult to injury, Ben Davies has been shown a yellow card, but fortunately the injury is not a serious one. Now, West Ham United do have one or two options in this kind of situation. They do have more than 20 minutes left to play, and they do need to give their rather hushed supporters something to shout about. Both the left footers Creswell and Snodgrass are standing over the ball. It is slightly right of centre, 10 paces outside the box, hit by Creswell, hit pretty well and very well blocked inside the wall. Is that Harry Kane who's charged it down? He's been absolutely poleaxed. He's down on the edge of the penalty area and in considerable pain. Harry Kane took that fall in the face. Well, that's what you expect of somebody in the walk.
Well, he's an absolute warrior. You know, he leads the line by example. I would say he's captain material just from the way he runs about the pitch, how he gives 100%, and he's took this straight in his face. You know, sometimes you've got to do that for your team. And as a forward, I talk about forwards a lot and are they prepared to get kicked? Well, this boy will put his body on the line day in, day out, consistently. And what a leader he is of men, and I'm sure anything that Mourinho's going to do at Tottenham Hotspur is going to include this young man.
I don't think we can underestimate. I'm sure that in those negotiations when Jose was talking to Daniel Levy, one of the first questions was certainly the position of Harry Kane. If he goes, I'm not coming. If he stays, I'm on my way, because all Jose Mourinho's sides have had a centre forward that can lead the line, that can score goals, that is certainly someone who's a match winner. Harry Kane, he's the one that he needs.
He hasn't been prolific against Jose Mourinho teams. 4 goals in 9 matches against Jose's Chelsea and Manchester United. He's lost a League Cup final and an FA Cup semi-final to Mourinho teams.
But is that not respect to Harry Kane? Because he's probably given special instructions to his defenders to make sure they nullify Harry Kane, because if you nullify Harry Kane, you've almost nullified most of what Spurs have got going forward.
Well, Kane has been in the walls a bit since the break. He's been in the goals too, and now is trotting off the field again. It looks like Christian Eriksen is being readied to come on by Tottenham Hotspur. It doesn't look as if Kane wants to come off.
Incidentally, again, he's not coming off. Wow. Unless the manager decides that he wants to just relieve him of what he's done. He's led the line superbly well for Spurs today.
It's West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Son and Lucas just before half-time. Harry Kane just after half-time with the Tottenham goals. Those 3 goals actually came in the space of 13 playing minutes either side of the break. Creswell on the ball for West Ham, 10 metres inside his own half. Down that touchline, kept in by Fornals, looking for Allaire, but there's been very little cohesion really about West Ham United since the fairly promising opening 20-25 minutes. Up to Kane on the halfway line, tried to protect it from Ogbonna but lost control of it. Noble now to Antonio, who's been a bright spark since coming on at half-time. Feeds Fredericks right hand side, crossed in towards Allaire, instead of the chance for Snodgrass. Turned back across the face of goal, hit first time by Allaire and well blocked. Noble on the edge of the penalty area. Antonio! Really good goal by Mikel Antonio, and just a glimmer of hope for West Ham United. We've got 17 minutes plus added time remaining, and Mikel Antonio has come off the bench to score, and it's West Ham 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
Well, I have to say, what an absolutely incredible individual goal. He was involved in the link-up. He put the ball down the line for Frederick to put a cross in. It was kept alive by Mark Noble, who played a little 1-2 into him, or what he thought was going to be a 1-2. He's opened his body, let the ball run across him, and that is an unstoppable strike. Absolutely brilliant from Antonio, who has been a bright spark since he's come on, and the sooner he can get match fit and be able to play 90 minutes for this West Ham team, the better.
It's his 4th Premier League goal for West Ham against Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham fans will remember his superb winner at the Tottenham Stadium last April, when West Ham became the first team to beat Tottenham at their new ground. Tottenham have got a problem with Ben Davies. We haven't restarted as yet, and it looks like he is going to have to come off, which gives me an opportunity to tell you that Kieran Tierney starts for Arsenal after the defeat at Leicester before the international break against Southampton. In our live commentary on TalkSport 2, Nicola Pepe is on the bench for Arsenal today. Brighton versus Leicester City. No Lewis Dunk for Brighton, who's suspended. Adam Webster starts. Leicester, not surprisingly, are unchanged. And Liverpool's game at Crystal Palace today sees Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in the Liverpool starting 11, and Mo Salah, who's been nursing an injury, is among the Liverpool substitutes. Those are all 3 o'clock kickoffs. Do stay with us though for Around the Grounds here on TalkSport with Adrian Durham, or if you want to hear commentary of Arsenal versus Southampton, it's live and exclusive on TalkSport 2 from 3 o'clock. So, change at left back for Tottenham Hotspur with Danny Rose coming off the bench and Ben Davies limping off. West Ham 1, Tottenham 3.
Mourinho will not be happy about that conceding. You know, complete control. Let a little scenario on the right hand side, 2 against 1. Fredericks, no pressure on the ball, put a decent cross in the box, and we were watching it, me and Clive, and we just thought Fornals is going to score here. And for whatever reason, Pablo Fornals, and like we're talking about Harry Kane, if that was Harry Kane, it would have been a goal from the cross. He ducked out the way. Luckily, it was kept alive by Snodgrass. Came inside, little 1-2 by Mark Noble, who thought he was going to get it back. Stepped over it by Antonio, and it was an absolutely supreme finish.
Tottenham's 13th Premier League game of the season. Clive Allen, 1 clean sheet.
Yeah, I was adamant that it was going to be a clean sheet today. The way the game was unfolding, I thought they would keep a clean sheet. But you've got to give credit to Antonio on this occasion. The body movement, just to move Alderweireld, and then the strike was excellent, unstoppable. It was a good strike from him.
A ray of hope for West Ham United fans in the showing of Mikel Antonio, his first showing after 3 months out of the team nursing a hamstring injury. West Ham coming forward with Robert Snodgrass out to Fredericks on the right hand side, and another West Ham goal in the next 5 minutes would make life interesting. Here's Noble for West Ham United, played in towards Antonio, edge of the penalty area, trying to set up Pala, who miscued. It was a shooting chance, a difficult one, a left-footed volley chance from 18 yards, but he miscued it. Winks brings it away for Tottenham into West Ham's half of the field. Son Heung-min, well challenged by Noble, but he hasn't managed to dispossess the South Korean skipper. Winks into Ali, who's been a little quieter in this second half. Now Dyer out to the right-hand side and Serge Aurier. Midway inside the West Ham half, just in from the right-hand touchline. Goes back to Sanchez on the halfway line. Winks ever available. Played forward to Ali. Now back to Sanchez. Now out to Aurier again on the right-hand side. Forward to Lucas Moura. Laid off to Ali, but the flag was up. Lucas Moura came back from an offside position. And West Ham United will have a free kick 10 metres outside their own penalty area.
Well, it looks like Jose Mourinho's preparing Christian Eriksen, and Sissoko is now stripping off. Just really now I feel it will be his ploy to just ease this game over the line.
Park the bus, you mean?
Something along those lines.
They just scored from the Championship. Cardiff City, who were 2 down at Charlton, have now pulled it level. Charlton 2, Cardiff City 2. Good comeback for Neil Harris's first game in charge of Cardiff City. That game live on TalkSport 2 at this moment. Kane with a cross for Tottenham Hotspur into the West Ham penalty area. Headed away by Fredericks, but only as far as Winks. Sighs of anguish from the West Ham fans as a chance to set their team going forward is passed up with a poor clearance, and Tottenham go all the way back to their goalkeeper Paolo Gazzaniga. Edge of the penalty area, Alderweireld. Back to Gazzaniga. Mishits the ball forward, and West Ham will have a throw-in just inside the Tottenham half. Christian Eriksen is coming on. Who is coming off for Tottenham Hotspur? Answer to that question, number 20, Dele Alli. Well, Ali is not going to leave the field on the far side of the field where he was. He's going to trot all the way across the field in order to see away a few seconds, and 3 West Ham players have gathered around the referee to point that out. But it's been a good day for Dele Alli. His name's not on the score sheet, but he figured prominently in that Tottenham goal rush either side of half-time, and he is now replaced by Christian Eriksen. He did have a couple of games for Denmark during the international break. He hasn't been playing all that much for Tottenham Hotspur of late. Creswell in possession. West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
Dele getting a pat on the back from Jose Mourinho as he leaves the field of play. Certainly has had a major contribution in this scoreline for Spurs this afternoon. Eriksen, I think, introduced just to link the play, keep possession of the ball, run the clock down.
Kane on the break for Tottenham, almost managed to slip Son in there. Lucas was fouled off the ball by Sanchez, and it would be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur about 20 metres outside the West Ham penalty area, just left of centre.
I think Lucas Moura's bought that foul. Very clever play from him, but in a way it's cheating the referee. I don't feel Sanchez had hold of him. He realised the ball was being lost to Mark Noble in the centre of the pitch, and it could have been a dangerous situation for West Ham. And he's thrown himself to the floor, and unfortunately Michael Oliver's bought it.
Sissoko is stripped off and ready to be Tottenham's second substitute. Tottenham's first substitute, Christian Eriksen, was offering himself for this free kick, but Harry Kane said, no, I think I might be able to manage without you. It's going to be taken by Kane, and its driven goalwards, and Roberto on his goal line to rather ironic cheers makes a clean catch. I'm sure that cheer is going to do a great deal for his confidence.
No, it was a comfortable save, and listen, I think his performance has been decent. He made a good save in the first half, comfortable save, but he did well, and he moved the ball out into a wide area so it couldn't be rebounded in. It's just his crossing. He doesn't look comfortable with it, and I think it's a big thing when you get goalkeepers from the continent. They do struggle with balls into the box, and you know, if you're playing against a goalkeeper like that, what are you going to do? Of course you're going to put balls into the box. But this man on the ball now, Antonio, since he's come on, he's been a breath of fresh air. He's got energy, he's physical, he gets contact with the centre half, he gives him a really tough time. He's got his goal, and the sooner he can start playing on a more regular basis, the better for West Ham.
West Ham have got a free kick midway inside the Tottenham half, about 10 paces in from the left-hand touchline. A loose challenge by Lucas Moura on Aaron Creswell, and here's an opportunity to ask one more big question of Tottenham Hotspur. 9 minutes left on the watch. I don't think there's going to be a lot of added time in this second half, so West Ham are running out of time. Snodgrass takes into a good area. It's flicked on by Antonio, knocked down, knocked away by Aurier. There's a bit of a scramble. Half a dozen players standing around where the ball landed, but Aurier was first to react. Fredericks looking to play that to the left-hand side, and Snodgrass will have to make do with a throw-in. And here comes the latest change for Tottenham Hotspur. Lucas Moura is the man who's going to make way for Moussa Sissoko. Lucas, the scorer of the second of the three Tottenham goals. It's West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3 on TalkSport with Now TV. You can watch Manchester City versus Chelsea live today with a Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass for a one-off payment of $9.99. West Ham coming forward with Creswell midway inside the Tottenham half, but being forced back by Winks. Rice out to Fredericks, halfway line right-hand side. 10 white shirts behind the ball as West Ham try to find a way back into this game, but Creswell's played a loose ball and Aurier has it back for Tottenham. Eriksen laid off to Sissoko on the right-hand side, protects the ball well initially from Snodgrass and then loses out to Sanchez. Snodgrass is fouled by Kane, but advantage play because West Ham have it, and Fredericks is moving forward into the Tottenham half. Out to the right-hand side in Fornals. Here's Fredericks again. Now Antonio supporting, looking for a cross from the right-hand side. 10 metres outside the penalty area. Sets up Fredericks for that cross, and who's covering for Tottenham Hotspur? Yeah, you guessed it, Harry Kane. It is a throw into West Ham United, but Kane defending down by his own corner flag.
In the left-back position, you know, helping his team out. He realises the balance of the game. With West Ham getting that first goal, making it 3-1. He needs to help the team, try and stop conceding again. And again, that's just great leadership from a player that wants to win.
West Ham throw-in cleared by Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. The latest odds. The Betfair Exchange, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage, will offer at this moment West Ham United 4.9 to score the next goal, Tottenham Hotspur 2.92, no further goal is 1.82. That's on the Betfair Exchange. More ways to bet, more ways to win. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. West Ham United in possession with Noble, halfway line, trailing by 3 goals to 1. Noble surging forward, out to the left-hand flank, finds Aaron Creswell, cross into the box, it's a really good cross and a very, very good header away by Davinson Sanchez. Forced up to Kane, now Eriksson, Tottenham trying to break. Break is broken up by Ogbonna. Fredericks again, just a little bit of encouragement for West Ham as Fredericks comes forward again and is fouled needlessly by Eriksson. It was a rather lazy sort of challenge. Noble forward to Antonio on the right hand side, now confronted by Danny Rose, who's come on that side. Antonio holding off Rose, who goes in with a sliding challenge and a goal kick is given. Rose managed to knock the ball against the ankle of Antonio, and it will be a goal kick.
Just looking at that pattern of play there, Mark Noble stepping in. We talk about bravery going into challenges, putting your head in. This is a different kind of bravery that he's got, and it's where it's all too passive, it's all too slow, the build-up. Somebody's got to take that step in and try and take a man on and beat that press. Mark Noble did it superbly there, committed the central defenders, got the ball out wide, and it was a wicked crossing from Cresswell. But I think you've got to have more players being brave in the West Ham side, and I don't mean kicking and heading, I mean on the ball and trying to create.
West Ham have the ball again. They trailed by 3 goals to 1, the midway side of their own half. Son is down injured, and Tottenham are appealing for West Ham to stop the game. They are less than convinced and continue to come forward. And here's Snodgrass. Kane has rocked him up, and Snodgrass has reacted, and there's a bit of a tussle between those two. And 1 or 2 joining in. Kane just lies on the floor looking particularly innocent. He did crash into the back of Snodgrass, who reacted. Son, incidentally, is still down and is now getting some treatment. Jose Mourinho is right on the touchline, and this is something that the referee Michael Oliver needs to sort out. 1 or 2 players still offering each other out, and as boys do, but no major incident here for Michael Oliver over and beyond the initial clash between Snodgrass and Kane. The referee is just waiting for everything to settle down. Son, incidentally, is still Sissoko, I should say, is still down and still receiving treatment.
I'm not sure what Harry Kane was doing there. He was getting a big cuddle off Snodgrass. They've both been booked as it goes. I think that's probably a wise decision. It was a reaction from Snodgrass, the initial challenge from Kane. They probably both deserved a yellow card, and that's about it.
Victory for Tottenham Hotspur will actually carry them into 6th place in the Premier League table. The mid-table of that Premier League table is very, very crowded, and they won't be expecting to finish the weekend in such an elevated position, but it just underlined the fact that the top 4, and to a lesser extent the bottom 3, just come apart from the rest, and so any kind of move, any kind of run of results for Tottenham Hotspur in the early Mourinho weeks will certainly move them into a much healthier position than the 14th in which they started today. Sissoko is actually going to have to limp off. Tottenham will be hoping that he's able to come back on, but he's not moving very well at the moment. This is a lot of added time to tag on to the end of this game, and West Ham do have a free kick for Kane's foul on the halfway line. It's taken by Creswell. It's high in towards Ogbonna. It's been well dealt with though by initially Eric Dyer and then Danny Rose. He's now given it away though to Fredericks, midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. Referee going the way, but Wade play on. Noble out to the left-hand side. Chance for Fornals to control the ball and cross into the box, but again it's an easy header for Davinson Sanchez. Turned back into the danger area by Creswell, not dealt with by Aurier. Noble has it. Tottenham not really clearing their lines at the moment. Antonio trying to protect the ball. Out to the right-hand side, and Fredericks has got a crossing chance. And that is charged down by Rose at the expense of a corner kick to West Ham. Danny Rose is now down injured, much to the delight of the West Ham fans who just feel as if they have a bit of momentum at the moment.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons also why Danny's gone down. He's holding his left there, he's back up and hobbling now, but Spurs are finding it difficult just to clearly keep possession of the ball. A little bit more intent from West Ham, a belief that they could, should a second goal in, get something out of this.
Corner will be taken by Robert Snodgrass from the right-hand side. Curled in with the left foot. It's a good header by O'Connor. It's gone in. Rice got a touch.
He's offside.
He's offside, I think. Now,
he must be offside.
It will have to be checked. O'Connor's headed down from the corner looked as if it might be on target. Declan Rice reacted and just helped it on its way, but was he offside? We're about to find out. It's tight, by the way.
His left foot is offside.
Yeah, he just scooted in with his right foot. The header down was a good one. It was actually by Sebastian Haller. I don't think it was going in though, Trevor, was it?
No, I think it's offside. It wasn't going in. He had to get a touch on that. It's a great leap, I have to say, by O'Connor to win the ball. Fantastic cross into the box, and it's just unfortunate. It's about a yard offside.
And the VAR check has been completed, and the second West Ham United goal does not stand. And the decision has just been screened for everybody to groan about. It was close, but he did just have a foot and a leg beyond the last Tottenham defender. 6 added minutes though coming. Jose Mourinho gives that a rather wry smile, not his most convincing grin of the week, and he is pacing his technical area, wondering how Tottenham, who were 3-0 up here less than 5 minutes into the second half, have turned this into a bit of a struggle. Still have a 2-goal advantage, but Antonio's on the ball, and West Ham are coming forward again, and Fredericks is just outside the Tottenham penalty area, and he's found a cross which is turned behind by Sissoko, and West Ham United will have a throw in just down by the corner flag.
Again, the key man is Antonio, getting into positions where he can receive the ball, using his physical strength to protect the ball, and then getting end product from it. I think he's been excellent since he's come on. West Ham have got to keep on plugging away.
Snodgrass has found a good cross here, turned back, and Haller with a header down, which was a good header because he was under pressure, but it wasn't a header that was ever likely to beat Paulo Gazzaniga. I mean, Antonio's played everywhere from full-back to centre-forward in his 4 years at West Ham, quite literally. And he's a player, I mentioned when he came on, it has a bit of an X-factor. You're never quite sure what's coming next with Mikel Antonio, and he just gives West Ham United a little bit of a spark which has been missing from one or two of their more creative players so far this season. It's been an unconvincing season for the likes of Anderson. Lanzini, who's now injured, Fornals, and to perhaps a lesser extent Yarmolenko. Jose Mourinho urging, pleading with his players on the touchline to keep their concentration, keep their focus for another 4 and a bit minutes of added time. West Ham United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Job not quite done. Tottenham Hotspur without an away win for 10 months in the Premier League. Fredericks on the ball, midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. Played back to Rice. Now Noble in the heart of the Tottenham half. Out to the left-hand side, and Creswell trying to find a crossing position. The cover's good, but he slipped it forward to Robert Snodgrass, and he's into the dead ball line. Sharp challenge by Winks. Corner kick to West Ham United, left-hand side. They really have to score from this if they're going to retrieve anything from the game. 3-1 they trail.
At least they're showing a bit of pride that it's hurting them. They're trying to get back into this game. They're making runs in behind. They're being brave on the ball. This is way better than the last 15-20 minutes from West Ham.
Snodgrass will take this corner from the left-hand side for West Ham. It's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box where it's headed away by Sissoko. Only as far as Fredericks. Square to Rice. Cross back into the penalty area. Cross was slightly deflected, and Alderweireld kept his eye on the ball and played it away with a well-timed volley, and Son is almost in as Rice just dilly-dallies on the ball for a moment, and Sanchez has to mop up, and West Ham have to come again, but with time now running out. 3 of the added minutes remaining. 3-1 they trail. Rice up towards Antonio. Sanchez has had a very effective game at the heart of the Tottenham defence today. I just wonder going forward whether that might be the preferred partnership, Sanchez and Alderweireld, that started today. Tottenham have a free kick incidentally for Noble's foul on Kane, which brought about one of the bigger cheers of the afternoon from West Ham fans. But Trevor Sinclair, we were 10 minutes into the second half wondering whether Spurs might go on and get 5 or 6 here, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah, it's been a better response this last 20-25 minutes from West Ham. I think it's that fear factor of actually getting thumped 5 or 6-0 and putting the manager under unbelievable pressure. So at least they found it in themselves to find some energy. I think the big stimulus for that has been Antonio, with his movement, with his physicality, with his bravery on the ball, and obviously with his goal. He's had a fantastic second half.
Thoughts of Trevor Sinclair on the West Ham performance. Clive Allen is alongside me. Tell me, who's not in the Tottenham Hotspur side today can you see breaking into Jose Mourinho's plans, given that this is his first selection we've seen on the field today?
Well, I think the nature and the way that this performance has unfolded, it's going to be difficult, and that's exactly what he would have wanted. He's given players the opportunity. They've taken that with their performance today, and now it's for them to work tirelessly, and it will be under Jose to try to get back into the side. He will rotate, we know that. He will dip into the depth of this Spurs squad, but the 11 that started have done very well.
He's without Hugo Lloris, Eric Lamela, Jan Vertonghen, and we think Tanguy and Ndombele through injury today, but everybody else was available. Tottenham lead by 3-1, and West Ham United, just despite their territorial advantage in these closing stages, have been unable to force the second goal, which would really jangle the Tottenham nerves. But here's Antonio, and he's escaped down the dead ball line and placed it into the box. It has been not wide. I think Alderweireld got a foot to it. For one moment it looked like it might have gone into his own goal, but it's gone behind for a corner.
It's Antonio who just rolls on the byline, does really well to get in behind Sissoko, and then tries to fizz it through the 6-yard box. It hits Toby Alderweireld on the right toe, out for a corner.
Corner kick which Snodgrass takes into the box towards Rice. It's pushed forward, and this is in. I think O'Connor has got the goal, and West Ham United have got back within 1. West Ham United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Angelo O'Connor's first goal since March, and maybe, just maybe, there's a way out of this for West Ham. 3-2.
Good finish from O'Connor, because the ball clipped in 8 yards out. Lovely side foot volley from the centre half, arriving improvisation, but clinically stroked into the bottom corner.
Well, Jose Mourinho won't know whether to laugh or to cry if it stays like this at the end of the game. He wanted to win most of all, but second on his list would have been a clean sheet, a convincing win. He's got the win. Tottenham Hotspur begin life under Jose Mourinho with their first away win in the Premier League for 10 months. There were times today when Mourinho's team, the first that he selected, and he left some big names out, were irresistible coming forward, particularly on the counter, when Son and Lucas and Kane scored in the space of 15 minutes either side of half-time, and Tottenham Hotspur threatened an absolute rout. But West Ham United, particularly with the introduction of Mikel Antonio at half-time, found some spirit and eventually found some hope. Antonio scored with about 20 minutes to play. O'Connor, with virtually the last kick of the game, has given us a final scoreline of West Ham United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3.